Right, this is the fourth part of this particular course, the crypto basic course, and we'll be looking at some very important questions and then the answers. So first, Bitcoin versus Ethereum, what's the difference? Okay, Bitcoin is primarily supposed to replace money. We call it bearer e-cash. Basically, it's supposed to replace naira, dollar, pounds, all the other ones in the world with a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that is transparent, open, and trustless, and everybody can actually have access to it. Alright? That's what Bitcoin is supposed to be. Ethereum, on the other hand, is supposed to be a platform that allows us to create open and decentralized applications, okay, and support immutable executable contracts that don't require a third party. That's like the major difference between the two of them. But they are both blockchains. Okay, they're actually both decentralized. Alright, and also nobody knows who actually started Bitcoin. Like, we don't know who is Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know who that is, but we know Vitalik Buterin and other founders of Ethereum. Alright, Ethereum has two major purposes. First, digital currency. That was not the major purpose of its founding, but based on usage, it's being used as a digital currency because it's even faster than Bitcoin. Can also be traded. Secondly, is that it should be used, in what I said earlier on, as its own, basically in its own ecosystem. So according to Ethereum, people all over the world use ETH to make payments as a store of value and of collateral, especially now in DeFi. Majorly used for collateral. There's some other technical differences, but that's not important at this point. But that's just the major thing you should know. Bitcoin, simple cash, simple payment. Ethereum, an entire ecosystem built and powered by the native token called Ether. Alright, a lot of people ask what is proof of work, proof of stake. So if you're following the recent conversation in terms of energy use, you would have heard people talk about how one consumes more energy than the other, right? Alright, so what's the major difference? Well, although we have proof of work and proof of stake, we actually have so many other mechanisms. We call them consensus mechanisms, and that's simply the way transactions are verified on a certain blockchain. Alright, which is the very first one, and by Bitcoin, simply saying that miners get to verify transactions through a computational system. Basically, they're trying to solve mathematics and certain algorithms and all of those things. Very technical, anyways, but because it needs a lot of computing power, it consumes energy, which is electricity power, and that's expensive. Interestingly, that's also part of the reason why Bitcoin price is rising, because they would sell their crypto to get the money to power their computers. So they have to sell their crypto at a profit to their cost of mining. Alright, so some people say this is bad for the environment, or that argue that no, they are making use of power that normally would have gone to waste. Okay, so that's for people. But proof of stake addresses this by saying, instead of doing such a system whereby it costs a lot to build and affects the environment and it's very difficult, by the way, it becomes much more difficult for people to actually mine once more miners are coming in. There's also the risk of, in the future, for Bitcoin, for instance, when every coin has been mined and the incentive to keep mining has reduced, we'll have fewer miners and therefore susceptible to a 51% attack. That leads to what we call proof of stake, whereby you earn returns based on your stake in a certain percentage. So if I own 1% of a certain token, I'm going to earn 1% of the new tokens, and that way I get to verify new transactions based on my staking. We call those they use nodes as well, just like proof of work, but they are staking nodes. Alright, so they don't need a heavy computation. Everything is automated and smart, basically. So all you have to do is just lock up your assets, and it's used to verify newer transactions and generate newer tokens as well. So the faster, actually, is a better process, right? But there's also the argument that it is not as secure as proof of work. Well, all these are arguments. Both systems are actually very good and very great. Proof of stake actually is more rewarding for everyone to join in without having to set up expensive software and hardware. Alright, what I'm saying, Binance and Trustworth. So it's the same ecosystem in the sense that first, they're all in the crypto space. They help you allow you hold multiple assets. But the interesting thing that it differs is that Binance.com looks at C5, what we call C5, centralized exchange primarily, whereby your keys are custodial, right? So basically Binance holds your key for you, and you get that kind of thing. So that's for them. For Trust Wallet, it's non-custodial, so you hold your keys yourself. Okay. So but then because it's centralized exchange, it's easier, faster. I can easily go in, buy, trade multiple assets. Binance basically makes the whole process easy for me. Binance.com, because Binance is the entire company, right? And they also own Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is majorly used for DeFi, decentralized finance. First, it's a bit of a cold wallet in the sense that you hold your own key. Better word is non-custodial wallet. And again, the fact that you can actually access decentralized platforms through the dApps. Okay, so that's the major difference between the two of them. But it's the same company and amazing services. They both have their native tokens. Binance.com uses the BNB and Trust Wallet uses TWT. Although most things we do in Trust Wallet are on DeFi, which majorly is Binance Smart Chain, which at the end of the day is still BNB. Limit order versus market orders. Market orders are when you execute at a certain price. So same Gala example, I go to the market, Gala is 50 naira, I simply buy. I give them 50 naira, they give me the order, that's it. But a limit order is where I tell them that it must hit a certain price before I buy. So I could tell the woman there that, you know what, this is my money, hold it down. But don't send me my Gala. Or let me give you another example. Let's say the food delivery, for instance. Say I want to buy a burger from a fast food and it's 2,000 naira. Maybe it used to be 1,500 before, but now it's 2,000 naira. So I'll go there, I'll give them 2k, tell them to send me my order. Once that happens, that's the market order. But a limit order will be by, I'll tell them, see my 2k, lock it in, but don't do my burger or send it down until burger price comes to 1,500. Alternately, I will just give them 1,500 and say, whenever burger hits 1,500, then send me my burger. So as long as burger has not hit 1,500, my money just be locked up there. I can't use it, they can't use it, right? That is limit order. So what you do in crypto as well, so you could place a price that you feel be more favorable for you to buy or for you to sell, not the current price, but a price you expect that the crypto would hit. So that's between order market price and limit price for trade execution. Now there's some things to actually avoid in this crypto space. Yeah, this to really avoid. That's where you can easily lose your money. Scams. And we always have to be safe, but then you should also know some scams in this space. First are ICOs and pre-sales. You can't overemphasize these things. In fact, this Securities and Exchange Commission in the US had to actually crack down on these things. That's why you barely hear of them again these days. They were a really big issue. To tell you that they're building the next Bitcoin, you should come and buy their token, you put money and then they run away. That was really bad. And now that has also been replicated in the DeFi space, what we call rug pulling. Whereby you lock your asset into a smart contract for a certain project, and before it's time for maturity or for expiration, the next thing that we have run, they run jackpot, they've run away with your money, they've removed the liquidity from that particular market or smart contract, and you are left with their useless token that you cannot convert to anything else. And that's a big issue, and that's called rug pulling, and it has affected so many people, right? This is I mentioned, and not just things that are out there. Some of these are also affected us as well. We don't want it to affect you, so learn. So you have to be very sure of what you are putting money into. That's why I always say you should start from the more established blockchain tokens on Binance.com for moving further down. Alright, cloud mining. This one was a very big issue. Following the ICO craze, cloud mining became another thing. The quest for passive income. Actually, the quest for passive income is one of the biggest sources of scams in the world today. Cloud mining promised us that we can actually mine from our homes. We just rent a space on their mining, or on their miners, or on their servers, and we get to earn the returns as well. So then turn out to be scams. They just built a website, claimed they had the machines, and they had nothing, and you send money and they run away. So avoid such hacks. Okay, at some point we had hacks were a very common thing, but now most exchanges actually have built up their systems and gotten better. That's the reason why they tell you, you should avoid custodial wallets, exchange wallets basically. Mt. Gox was the worst. We've had other ones. We've had Polynex. We had this popular one again, Cryptopia. Yeah, some of these things are making people not to go back to crypto again because they were hacked. Their wallets were hacked and all those things. Now, because most exchanges have fixed those things, they now use what we call phishing to try and get people to submit their cold wallets or their non-custodial wallet seed phrases. So, as I said, don't give your seed phrase to anyone. If you get a mail, make sure it's on your exchange. Be sure that you're on the right website. Some platforms like Binance, Whitebit, and so on, okay, they allow you to put an anti-phishing code, and you know it's not a scam. So if you are sure of the exchange you are using and that one is not a scam as well, at least for Binance, set up your anti-phishing code. So whenever you get a mail from Binance, you will definitely see your anti-phishing code as a part of your email. Alright, so you don't get hacked. Social engineering is a very popular way of people being scammed. So somebody claims to be your friend. Basically, they meet on social media, they try to befriend you, most like dating scam. They get close to you, they tell you a very compelling story, you send them crypto or you share your seed phrase with you. Basically, they've scammed you, right? Social media scams, like I explained the last part where we talk about people that try to mimic Elon Musk. I later found out that they actually hacked Twitter console, Twitter admin console, and they got into certain accounts. You know, Elon Musk, Apple, and Uber, and some of that, and they now tweeted within a few seconds, and that was the reason people jumped on it. That was the reason why I just remembered, right? That's why people jumped on it. Not necessarily because of greed. They claimed it was to be for a charitable cause. Okay, and so people jumped on it and they were scammed. So be very careful about drop this to get this. Doesn't matter who it's coming from. Read it 3 times. Wait for 24 hours, 48 hours to be very sure. 99% of the time, just like cloud mining, is going to be a scam. Alright, so these are the major scams we have out there. You should avoid them now that you've learned about them. So why do I have many cryptos? Okay, so this is like free bonus, just so you know. But if you are really interested in cryptocurrencies, then I think you should actually get the Koinsandkash textbook. Okay, that gives you a total basic, all the necessary information you need about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Alright, so you could just send me a message afterwards so that we could talk about that. But just so you know why there's so many cryptocurrencies, same way they are solving different problems. Now, not every crypto was built to be a means of payment the way Bitcoin is. So we have what we call utility tokens, and they were built for certain platforms. For instance, Amazon can decide to launch its own currency for use within the Amazon ecosystem. It will be called an Amazon crypto. Now, a lot of people are using it. It becomes so valuable that people begin to use it outside of the Amazon ecosystem, just like gift cards. At that point, people begin to trade it, people begin to speculate on it, people begin to hoard it. So every crypto has their unique function. Bitcoin is the biggest one that is meant to be a universal payment system. Ethereum is supposed to be the new way of launching applications, like your new Play Store. Okay, but that ETH is like its own utility token within the Ethereum ecosystem. Do you get that? That's the same way it is for these different platforms. That's why you have so many. Of course, so many of them are also copycats. They're just there because ETH is going up, so they believe that once they launch, people will subscribe to their token and then they run away people's money, or they just keep the same people that are doing something special and they're not doing anything special. Yes, that exists. Okay, but just so you know, not every cryptocurrency has the intention of being an international payment system. Alright? That's why you have so many. Alright, different between spot trading and futures trading. Okay, spot trading is just simply where you buy and sell as of today. Whether it's P2P, whether it's normal trade, anything, they're all spot trading. If I go to buy gala now, go to the shop, give them 15 naira, they give me gala, that's spot trading. But if I say, you know what, hold the 15 naira, I'll collect the gala from you next week. I'm doing that because I don't know why Nigeria will happen to me and gala will be 16 naira next week, right? And first selling the gala, I was also trying to buy, next week will come and she can't sell the gala again. I mean, she doesn't sell the gala and it gets closer to expiry date, so she would agree. So we would lock in a price today for the value next week. That's what you call futures trading, alright? However, in financial assets, it's people barely go into futures for the sake of actual delivery or settlement. They go into it to speculate on prices, and therefore they do what we call cash settlement. When you get more advanced in analysis and all those things, you will learn exactly how future trading works. But I'll just give you a practical example of the difference between sports and futures trading. Alright, so next we're looking at, okay, how rich can crypto make you? This is actually a very interesting one. Because a lot of people jump into crypto because they heard they can make ton of money. And so they want to, but actually it's harder than you think, right? Harder than you think, because how many people enter into crypto and able to make a lot of money? Many people are actually, because they are not, most people that make a lot of money in crypto were first rich. And that's because when you put money in crypto, right, you still need money to eat. You still need money to eat and do other things. So it becomes difficult for it to actually hold for a very long term. And it's over the long term that you see some pretty crazy and amazing returns, right? But it doesn't mean that people don't still get this. It has happened to a number of people. In fact, some of us actually saw good returns. Sadly, we put our money in some places we should not have put it in. Which should be the next part of this that you'll be learning. What things to avoid. Some of us put it and you don't know that there are times to actually sell. Alright? If you're not in this forever and ever, if you're not in this for the revolution alone, if you're in this to actually make some money, there should be time to sell. Right? So that you can actually realize the cash you have gotten and buy good stuff for yourself or divest into other things. But that aside, there are still ways of making a lot of money from this new opportunity. Okay, first off is that there are tons of cryptocurrencies, so you have to decide which ones to buy, and we already told you one of them. Timing has to be right. Yeah, this is a good timing. The market is red. It's a good timing to still go back up, man. That's on the setting. But there's no guaranteed future in this crypto space. Anything can happen. Countries can get angry and they lock everything up. But I don't expect that to destroy the market, because this is a people-driven and a community-led opportunity. All right. So just keep learning, keep growing, put a little here and a little there, keep monitoring, and keep learning. That way you would know the best opportunity. There will be the ones that you have to stay 1 month, the ones that have to stay 1 year, and there will be the ones that you have to stay one night, and you'd see a lot of money. We've been there.